Good morning and welcome. Today, we turn our attention to a rapidly escalating humanitarian crisis in the Democratic Republic of Congo. In just a few days, the conflict in the eastern part of the country has forced an alarming number of people to flee their homes. The situation has reached a critical point, with over 200,000 people fleeing in days from ongoing violence. This massive displacement underscores the deepening crisis in the eastern DRC, particularly in the North Kivu province, where escalating violence continues to disrupt lives and threaten stability.
To understand the gravity of the situation, let's pinpoint where this crisis is unfolding. We are focusing on the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, specifically the North Kivu province affected. This region, rich in natural resources but plagued by decades of conflict, has become the epicenter of renewed fighting. The violence is inching closer to the strategic city of Goma, a vital hub and home to over 1 million people, which is now increasingly threatened. The proximity of the fighting to Goma creates immense fear and pressure on its inhabitants and the thousands seeking refuge there.
The current surge in displacement is primarily driven by the renewed offensive of the M23 rebel group. Reports indicate a rapid advance, with heavy fighting in and around key areas. The M23 has launched significant attacks on Sake, Masisi, and Rutshuru, crucial towns in North Kivu. These military maneuvers have not only caused widespread panic, but have also resulted in key supply routes cut off, effectively isolating communities and exacerbating the humanitarian crisis. The speed and intensity of this offensive highlight a worrying escalation in the conflict dynamics.
The human cost of this escalation is devastating. Families, forced to abandon their homes and livelihoods, are now desperately seeking safety. Thousands of displaced seek shelter near Goma, overwhelming existing camps and resources. The conditions are dire, with a critical shortage of food, water, and medicine. This scarcity, combined with overcrowding and poor sanitation, has created a fertile ground for disease. Aid agencies are sounding the alarm about a high and immediate risk of cholera outbreak, which could claim countless lives if not urgently addressed. This situation demands immediate global attention and assistance.
The conflict in eastern DRC is not isolated. It has profound regional dimensions. The Democratic Republic of Congo has repeatedly and publicly accused Rwanda of supporting M23, claiming Kigali provides military aid and logistical backing to the rebel group. Rwanda, however, vehemently denies involvement, countering with its own accusations against the DRC. Meanwhile, Uganda's complex role in the region adds another layer of complexity, as it has also deployed troops in eastern DRC, ostensibly to combat another rebel group, the ADF. These cross-border tensions complicate any unified approach to peace and stability.
The M23's resurgence is not a new phenomenon, but rather a grim chapter in a long-standing cycle of violence. The group officially resurfaced in late 2021, breaking a decade of relative dormancy. Its roots lie in the 2004 CNDP rebellion, a movement that arose from the ethnic and political grievances following the Rwandan genocides and subsequent cross-border conflicts. Eastern DRC has a long history of ethnic strife, resource exploitation, and political instability, creating a fertile ground for armed groups. Understanding this deep historical context is crucial to grasping the current crisis.
The international community has been involved in the DRC for decades, yet the current crisis highlights the limitations of these efforts. The United Nations' largest peacekeeping mission, MONUSCO Peacekeeping Mission, has been present since 1999, but faces significant challenges and public frustration. More recently, the East African Community Force, EACRF, deployed troops to help stabilize the region. However, despite these deployments, the situation continues to deteriorate, leading to widespread calls for stronger international action and a more robust approach to protect civilians and enforce peace agreements. The effectiveness of these forces is constantly under scrutiny.
Behind the statistics of displacement are countless personal tragedies. This crisis has shattered families, leading to families separated as they flee in different directions or get lost in the chaos. Children, who represent a significant portion of the displaced, are largely children out of school, losing precious years of education with their futures uncertain. For those who remain, it is a daily struggle for safety, food, and dignity. These are not just numbers. These are mothers, fathers, and children caught in an unimaginable nightmare, desperately clinging to hope amidst the terror. So, what can be done to alleviate the suffering and bring an end to the violence? Experts and international bodies stress that a ceasefire and dialogue are essential first steps, requiring all parties to lay down arms and commit to genuine negotiations. Crucially, there's an urgent need for increased humanitarian aid to address the immediate needs of the displaced, preventing further loss of life from hunger and disease. Fundamentally, sustainable peace requires addressing the root causes of conflict, including ethnic tensions, resource competition, and governance issues. Without these comprehensive efforts, the cycle of violence will continue. In conclusion, the situation in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo is a rapidly unfolding catastrophe demanding immediate and sustained global attention. With over 200,000 displaced in mere days, the scale of the humanitarian crisis is immense and continues to grow. The region faces continued instability, threatening to engulf neighboring countries and destabilize an already fragile part of Africa. It is imperative that global attention is crucial to ensure pressure on warring parties, facilitate humanitarian access, and work towards long-term peace. We must not allow the people of the DRC to suffer in silence. Thank you for joining us.